insights, always gets it right. Sean's the wild card with a laugh in the night. On FolkLOOR, they banter about the latest fight. FolkLOOR podcast, stories non-stop. Tim Damon gossip, and Tech's new crop. Loud opinions.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the FolkLOOR podcast.
Marcus,
I'm Marcus Pittman.
Jason, Sean, they never drop.
Oi, oi.
Streaming wars and startup dreams.
Jason Farley, Sean Tomlin, welcome back to another episode.
Glad to be here.
It's good to be here. I just got caught multitasking.
Yeah. Surprise! Title screen's off. I was just gonna say I really look forward to this podcast every week.
I do too.
Me too.
I also look forward to that guy to stop singing.
Oh yeah, there we go.
It makes me want to join the circle and throw my elbows.
The ska circle.
Yeah, the
like
ska circle.
I feel like I'm in 1997 K-Rock weenie roast.
The good old days.
Oh, the good old days.
Ska, it'll never die.
Oh man, I want to say though, I preferred the first wave of ska, Special, Selector, Madness, English Beat. I wasn't as into the second wave. There were a few.
The
I don't know
second
what
wave, Five Iron Frenzy was
What-
that second wave.
Yeah, Real Big Fish.
Real Big Fish.
Sublime.
Yeah, like Ferris.
Say Ferris.
Say Ferris. What say you, Jason? First wave ska or second wave ska?
I liked all of them, but I like a lot of stuff.
Because you're a millennial, huh? Are you a millennial?
No, I'm not a millennial.
What are you?
I'm Gen X.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm millennial.
Are you?
Like,
See,
I feel
that
like
explains a lot.
early. Yeah.
You're like, I think you're millennial ADJ. Do you know what that means? Yeah. In
I was born
LA.
in '84, so that's like right on the edge.
You're
My
on the
wife
cusp.
is. I think my wife is Gen X, so like it's very close. So like
Wow.
very very close, like riding the line. So.
I'm at the very end of Gen X.
I almost said what year she was born and gave away my wife's age, and I don't think you're supposed to do that as a
No.
married person.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Oh, no.
So I didn't do it though.
You technically
I
didn't.
stopped myself.
Because it's like a 25-year spread. So
Yeah, yeah.
she could be 25 or 50, and we wouldn't know.
That's right. So where are we? Okay.
You want to tell everyone that you're not feeling well? Do you want a mask?
No. I'm fine. It's just winter illnesses, non-COVID related. No need for guys to show up at my house and vaccinate me. Totally fine, just normal cold. So we're okay.
Wasn't COVID just a normal cold? Wait, never mind. Never mind. We're gonna get demonetized.
Oh, that's right. We can't talk
We can't talk about that. So.
about it. Or can we now? I don't know. Maybe we actually get promoted if we talk about it now. Because
I don't
everything's
know.
we're in the upside down. We're back in the right side up.
It is. It's
Yeah.
it's completely different now. Like nobody cares if you're doing talking points that are in the opposite direction of the current president. Like nobody cares. And it's really amazing to see, especially among younger generations, which actually brings me to one of my first topics is that Roseanne Barr wants to do a new show. And
She's still alive?
She's more alive than ever.
She's from El Segundo. I used to live 5 minutes from her.
Really, I left my wallet in El Segundo. That's crazy.
You should write a song about that. It's a weird place to leave your wallet.
Despite what they did to her on the Connors. By the way, I have a conspiracy theory about the Connors while I pull this up, and I want to see if anybody
A conspiracy theory?
No, the Connors conspiracy theory is that nobody watches the Connors, and it's completely funded by USAID.
Well,
Do you know anybody? No, seriously. Do you know anybody that has watched the Connors since Roseanne Barr was kicked off of Roseanne? I don't know a single person in my entire network that watches that show, and I've already talked to way more people in my life that have seen Tim Allen's new show, Shifting Gears, on ABC, than anyone in my life that's ever watched the Connors. But somehow it's been on for like, what is it, like 7 or 8 seasons they've done it since. Like, I think me and my wife watched Roseanne, the new revival of Roseanne. We'd watch it every week when we first got married. So that was 7 years ago.
I bet you 93% of our audience are asking, what are we talking about?
yeah. They don't even know the show exists.
It's Connor. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your point. Yeah. That's your point. Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly, what are you guys talking about? What is the Connors? That's exactly. So,
That reminds me, that makes me think about things that are really well known, but you don't know anyone that watches it. I have another example of that.
okay.
Vice.
I'm ready.
I never knew one kid, millennial, Gen Z, Gen X, or anyone who watched Vice. Vice Media was so well funded, around for over 25 years, but I never met anyone that said, "Oh man, yeah, sorry, I can't go out tonight. I'm watching the Vice series." Oh
Wait,
man,
are you talking about the
Vice Media.
Vice Network?
No, it was Vice
Like
Vice Media. Any of it.
I would watch the early Vice stuff when he was like going to North Korea and like,
yeah, that's early Vice.
Overseas. Yeah, the early stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
I would watch, but then they just started talking about like sex toys and stuff, everything, and I was just like, no, just nobody cared anymore.
No one cared. You're right though. North Korea, that was a good piece, but after that, I don't think anyone ever really.
Yeah. Once they got bought by, I think they got bought by HBO and Google. Like Google put in a significant amount of money into them, and then HBO did. Probably USA.
I actually was thinking the same thing. I think that's not even a joke. I bet for sure they put money into that.
Well, think about how this is completely off topic and not even on the list, Sean. But think about how disruptive to geopolitical situations Vice was, and then the next thing you know, they get bought by all these different organizations and raise millions of dollars out of nowhere. So
that reminds me,
that's how we can raise money for lore, is do a North Korean documentary. We'll get funders everywhere. So, okay, let's talk about, speaking of funding content, Roseanne Barr plots comeback with new comedy series about a family who saves America with guns, Bible, petty crime, and alcoholism. This is a show she's been working on, and I don't understand how this hasn't got a lot more attention than it is. But what I wanted to point out is she wants to do this show. First off, it's just like classic Roseanne, but I think it's like Roseanne meets the Coen brothers, is what she says. It's kind of like a Coen brothers thing.
Can you go back to the photo of her? Because that's she looks really happy. Just go back to. I want to say something nice about Roseanne. She looks great. She looks really happy. That's a genuinely happy person.
I think she really is now. I think there was a lot of discussion about how just she there's the pure pressure she was on when she was doing the shows and stuff that basically almost drove her insane and had her on meds and all this other sort of stuff. And now she just looks like she's just completely
like Kanye level meds.
No, probably not that level.
Okay, not quite.
See, Roseanne actually knew she was on meds.
Right.
Kanye's got slipped in by
it's a good point.
Bad actors and doctors. So.
Yeah, there's one. It's the difference between being roofied and self-roofing. I feel funny.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. So, but anyway, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because she wants to raise money for the show herself. So she says, if Hollywood doesn't buy it, I'm just going to make it myself. Does anybody in Hollywood like America, or the people who watch TV? Because people who watch TV would really like to see this show where working class people win against the enemies of America. And I just want to say, I want that show.
I know. Well, Marcus, you know that I've got a letter to Roseanne, a thank you letter to Roseanne on my computer, just in case I ever meet her.
Yes, you do, and you also have a suitcase packed that's your Kanye go bag. In it for
I unpacked it. I
you
used to have one.
unpacked it.
I
Oh,
unpacked it because,
you thought he was dead. He doesn't.
yeah,
Your Kanye go bag. That's a great infomercial. We got to do
yeah,
that. The Yago.
just in case I ever got a call that I needed to go straight to the airport, I kept a Kanye go bag.
Wow, yeah, I like it. It's like, I've got the yay bag here. The Yago.
But now I'd be afraid to be in the same room with him.
Yeah, it's completely different now. But I don't think you would be in the room with him. It would be
Yeah,
you mean a CIA stunt double.
what? Yeah, what?
his USA body double. The USA jokes are I have so many of them.
By the way, did you hear the good news? Did I tell you guys this before the podcast?
I don't think so.
We're now officially NewsAid. we're certified non-USAID supported. We're NewsAid.
NewsAid.
No,
We're
Is that what you
NewsAid.
call it?
Yeah, it's like non-GMO, but it's like we're NewsAid.
So are they sending us our certification in the mail so we can
we get a certification, and they ask we put a little ID on the lower right hand of everything we do, and we're officially non-USAID supported.
Perfect.
Huge street cred for us, so that was a big deal.
All right, I got one more article to bring up.
Oh yeah, what do you got
here? And this is from Hollywood Reporter, which I think is actually a pretty big deal. I'm shocked that nobody's really been having this conversation, but it's this article from the Hollywood Reporter says the final flicker of cable news as we know it. MSNBC is getting spun out, CNN is restructuring, and the Murdochs are launching a streamer. But can any of them survive the death of TV news? And so this is fascinating to me because I honestly don't see a purpose in cable television packages, basic cable, that sort of thing, without cable news. Like, I think this is like the last thing that people are holding on to their YouTube TV subscriptions for. It is for us because it's the only way you can get your cable news. And so this is from Hollywood Reporter, and they're talking about the future is uncertain. The Murdochs are launching a streamer, which they've already had, which is Fox Nation, but you can't watch Fox News on Fox Nation unless you also have a cable TV plan you can log into.
Oh, that's going to go away soon, I think.
Yeah, and also that's only live, so you can't like.
It's like the old HBO Go.
Oh yeah, that's another.
That's right. That's right.
So
HBO Go.
That article is well. First of all, cable news is just a delivery device for pharmaceutical ads. It's the only reason they're
Right.
there. It's it's a lot of side effects. That article is interesting. There's a couple great takeaways. One, I didn't know this. I thought I knew everything, but then I read this article and I learned more. 70% of all cable news viewing is Fox. So I just want to pause on that for a second. I was thinking, okay, if 70% of all the cable news viewing is on Fox, that tells you a lot about the composition, at least of that demographic, where they lean.
Wow.
That's a chunky number. And the other number I thought was interesting is I didn't realize that CNN just did 200-person layoff, and their revenue fell $400 million between 2019 and 2022 or 23.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a big chunk of money. But the one thing, a lot of people do gush about Fox, but people forget too that there's only so much of the cable pie, and the majority of it all is split up by liberal media, and Fox is just the only one that's non-liberal. So it makes sense that they're always going to have bigger ratings and a bigger slice of the pie. And in having the opportunity to meet Rupert Murdoch and actually spend time talking to him and other executives, one thing I learned about him, he's not necessarily he's a businessman more than he is like a conservative guy. He just saw an opportunity. He just said, hey, there is no one servicing this crowd. I've always said this. My theory was if the tables were turned and the majority of media was conservative and there was a gaping wide hole in liberal media, he would have done that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't an ideology thing for him. It was a business thing.
No, that I completely agree with that. And I think I think the other thing too, you said 70% of all news viewership is Fox News on cable TV.
Yeah.
So but here's a question which will reveal a different statistic, but what percentage of people that watch Fox News are over 50?
There's an interesting, I don't know the exact number, but I've read that MSNBC's demo was actually older than Fox's by like 2 years. And that blew me away because I thought that would be the opposite. We had to check me on that, but that info is available, but it will surprise you that Fox is not the oldest one out of the cable news groups.
It's not the oldest one, but it is old.
Well, they're all old.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, they're all old.
The younger generation, they're not getting their news from cable news at all.
No.
So like I don't think there's a way to recover the cable news industry.
No.
Or to save it in its current form. There's no way. But I think if I was an executive over at Fox News, I'd be really figuring out ways to move things younger. I think they're trying to do that with like Gutfeld, and they do a lot of man on the street stuff.
Yeah. Gutfeld and Jesse Waters pulls in a younger.
Yeah, Jesse Waters is Jesse Waters and stuff. But still though, when you talk about like how do you get college students and teenagers, I don't think Charlie Kirk's not on Fox News. He's on another network, isn't he? Or News Nation.
He just got a deal for something on. Maybe someone in the chat room can update us on this. Speaking of chat, if you guys have questions and sorry for saying guys, because I know there's other people like girls. There.
Feel free to engage with the chat. Please share this show, like it, tell your friends to watch. We're trying to grow this thing. We're testing we moved to a new time today to be able to test our audience engagement. So, but yeah, so but speaking of man on the street stuff, Jason, who was the one? No, this Sean. This was yours, right? The Edgar puppets.
No, this was Jason found this.
Well,
right?
Jason did. Jason's always looking for puppets.
Yeah. Jason found the puppet.
Yeah, puppets is one of the thing on my Twitter at the top when it says that it's automatically adds to my feed. I like puppets.
So one of the things we want to do on this podcast, and probably one of the main goals of this podcast, is really to introduce you to content creators. And filmmakers and artists and storytellers that wouldn't necessarily get seen just because we don't really have that sort of network built out to bring attention to new talent. And so Jason found Edgar puppets, and Edgar. This is, it reminds me of Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
Yeah.
I believe that there should be no more babies, brother.
Headlock! He was a bad baby. He was a bad man.
Is this quote from Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood, or is it from professional wrestler Hulk Hogan?
I believe that there should be no more babies, brother.
I actually am going to guess Hulk Hogan.
I believe that there should be no more babies, brother.
Margaret Sanger.
Are you sure?
Yes.
There was a brother at the end. Doesn't that trick you at all?
Oh.
When Andre the Giant pulled my leg and pulled it backwards, I thought I was going to die, brother. But I managed to call upon my God, who saved me from him hurting me more.
Oh my gosh. Margaret?
No.
No.
I believe that there should be no more babies, brother.
Margaret Sanger.
Ding, 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 ding. We don't want the word.
This is fantastic. By the way.
It's so good.
It's just something
good.
about puppets.
Something about puppets.
It's just amazing to me.
I agree. We got to bring the puppets back. I mean, they just bring joy to your life.
I always tell Jason that we're building lore with foam and felt.
Foam and felt.
Foam and felt, which is just it's
Ooh,
just
I
the way
like
I
that.
think. Well, what'd you say?
I just like that as a name, foam and felt.
Bowman Felt. Yeah. There
Yeah,
you
don't
go.
anyone out there steal that.
Write that down.
I just wrote it down. I'm gonna put a TM in a circle just to make sure it's protected.
Trademark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right there.
So oops.
That's good. I like Ask America. What's the story with the guy who creates this? I like him.
So this guy, well, this is called Ask America with Edgar. His X account is Edgar Puppets, and he does this man on the street interviews with this puppet named Edgar. I just like, by the way, the I'll just say the Planned Parenthood hat that Edgar is
Yeah.
wearing.
It's nice. It's a nice touch.
Which is a nice little subtle touch. But yeah, so he goes and does Man on the Street. There was the other clip where he was at the Patriot Front rally and he was asking them to reveal their faces and asking them if they were feds. which I thought was a brilliant segment. So
Yeah.
To go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population, brother. Hulk Hogan or Margaret Sanger?
I think the brother might have been added, but otherwise sounds like Margaret Sanger to me.
Dang it, you're onto my shtick. We don't want the word to get out that we want to exterminate the Negro population, brother.
Margaret Sanger.
How are you so good at this?
Because she's evil.
All the little Hulkamaniacs are gathered here, and they're here to support a great country called the United States of America.
I'm gonna go with Hulk.
Yes, my sources say that is Hulk. They tried to pick me up and give me an airplane spin and throw me right on the canvas hard.
Hulk Hogan or Margaret Sanger?
I'm gonna have to go with Hulk Hogan on that one.
Yeah, that's Hulk Hogan.
We're not.
all right. So
It's brilliant.
I think what that is, what's so brilliant about that one is just the question is completely absurd, and then the quotes are not even like it's not even hard to tell.
Yeah.
That's good.
Who wants to exterminate the Negro population? Well, that's obviously not Hulk Hogan. So.
Right.
So no. So that's a guy on X. You can follow him, Edgar Puppets, Edgar Puppet, and he actually responded. So he might be watching this right now, and I'd like to say, Edgar, we'd love to have you on and talk about what you're doing and more of that, because I think puppets are important. I'm like the biggest Jim Henson fan. I have only one, and it is Kermit and Jim Henson right here. That's the only pop I ever bought. But I think I'm a big fan of Jim Henson and what he did with Muppet. Did we just lose Sean? We lost Sean.
We did. He'll be back.
Maybe he'll come back.
Or maybe he just doesn't like Jim Henson. He was like, "Oh, I had no idea."
Yeah, I we're talking about Jim Henson. No, I've been a fan of Jim Henson, and I've read his biography. Me and you've gone to the museums every time we're near a museum with one of his exhibits. It's just amazing to see. And one of the things that I like so much about it is how you can bring about stories and narratives and characters from inanimate objects. And it shows you really the only thing you need is good storytelling abilities.
Right.
Right? Like it's like, felt and foam is not insanely expensive. At least when he was starting out doing black and white TVs, it wasn't. But yeah, we have lost Sean. Sean has gone.
Sean has left the building. So the question is, where are we going to find our first puppet show? So that's
the question that we ask every single day when we wake up and we have executive meetings. It's always, have we found a puppet show yet?
So let's see. Sean's not here, but his notes still are. So hopefully
he texted me.
He'll be
said
back.
His internet went out.
All right. Well, let's see. So, he's back.
Go. You're back.
We were lost without you.
I was lost. I was in this weird vortex. It was crazy. Where were we?
Anyway, we were just talking about just the reason why puppets are so amazing and incredible is because they're inanimate objects, and the only thing really that brings life to them is the ability to just be a storyteller, right? So like it's just a pure storytelling mechanism that's really the only thing that matters so much. Also, in the fact that Jim Henson slightly made the eyes cross-eyed so the puppets actually look at you.
Oh, wow.
That was his big innovation that changed the whole puppet game.
His first of many innovations.
Before that, when you watch puppets, their eyes are just like they're like straight, but then he made them like mine, where they're not exactly straight, and it allows you, but in the other direction. And,
I never knew that.
Pointing towards the nose, and then that's what gives them the ability to look straight when they're on camera and stuff.
So if someone looks at me cross-eyed, I take it as a compliment now.
Yeah.
They're really focused.
His innovations were so simple. It's like, I don't know if you ever watched like the AFI first 100 years of film, if you watch that documentary series. But like in the early days, it's like, this is the guy who decided he could move the camera at the same time. Because before all the movies, all the cameras were locked down on tripods until one guy said, no, we can move the camera. Or this other one said, oh, we can actually cut between two different angles and people will understand it. Like those are like massive industry.
Is there a Sesame Street?
What'd you say?
Is there a Sesame Street or Muppets documentary?
There's a Jim Henson documentary that's on Disney Plus that's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Make a note.
Imagination or something like that. But something about that. But that documentary is really great. Then there's one on Carol Spinney who did Big Bird that's really good. All about, because I think he was in his 70s and 80s before he died, and he was still doing Big Bird. But that documentary talks about how he's like training up the next person to be Big Bird after he's gone. It's really great. Really great. There's a lot of them, but also just reading the biography on Jim Henson's incredible. And then of course, if you're ever in New York City, you can get to the Museum of the Moving Image. That was it, right?
They've got a whole floor on Jim Henson.
The whole floor of Jim Henson. The Smithsonian has a section too, that's pretty good. And and then I think the other one's at the Center for Puppetry Arts in Atlanta, which I haven't. That's the one I have not been to yet. So that's the one I want to go to.
That's the one we got to go to.
John Croft in the chat says that he thinks that Jim Henson got that from Michelangelo, the eyes.
They knew each other?
Yeah.
Was that long ago?
They went to art school together.
Yeah. Cal Arts. Cal Arts. Everything's from Cal Arts. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all playing. Yeah. Everything, all roads point to Cal Arts.
Yeah. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me that Jim Henson studied Michelangelo and that's where he got that from. So it's just amazing to see when you're truly independent, you can do just little things and they become like extremely revolutionary. And then afterwards, nobody can do anything the same way again. And so that, that's one of the things. Like Jim Henson said, why do all the puppet shows on TV at the time, they still had the puppet, like the puppet desk or the puppet set. And so all the puppets were behind the set. And he said, why do we need to do the puppet set when the TV is the set, like the puppet set? And so we'll just make the stage the whole television screen. And that was the first time you saw puppets being moved in space back and forth, left and right, off camera, on camera. Just like really radical innovations that we just think are so common sense now. It wasn't at the time. So, all
right, let's all make a pact. We're bringing foam and felt back.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to make this by summer. We have a puppet show. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I feel Jason, are you with me on this?
I'm in. We're bringing foam and felt back.
The world needs more puppet shows.
Yeah,
we do. Puppets bring the world together, and I could go on and on about puppets, but we spent about 7.5 minutes on puppets. Hey, Jason, do you have trivia for us, Professor?
I do have trivia again. Trivia.
I like that. Sounds like a new weight loss drug.
I don't have that yet. I could probably use it, but so So the trivia question of the day is: in the 20th century, what was the highest grossing feature film? What was the highest grossing feature film of the 20th century? So, in the chat, throw it up there. See if you know.
Adjusted for inflation.
That's the trick.
Oh, you can't tell us. Okay. All right. That's the trick. It's not E.T., is it?
That's a great puppet movie.
I see. I'm bringing it all back to puppets. It's puppet.
What did you say, Sean?
E.T.
Oh, E.T.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a puppet movie.
It grossed a lot, yeah. But that wasn't the trivia question, folks. But that would be a good trivia question. What's the highest grossing puppet movie? Next week, that's the question.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Andrew Huff has a guess. Andrew Huff is a talented filmmaker that he's got a kids movie. I don't know if it's released.
No, it's not. It's not released yet, but it's coming out. It's coming out to theaters. It's coming out to theaters this summer.
I have the movers here. Sorry.
At the movies. And Andrew, remind me the name of the movie. It's a kids movie. And by the way, the Huffs are insanely brilliant and talented filmmakers.
Super talented.
And if you have an opportunity to go and see his film, which is the Web Detective. Something Web Detective.
Right. It's
come on, Andrew.
Connor Web Detective.
Web Detective. That's it.
Yeah, you've got to keep an eye out and go check out Connor Web Detective.
Web Detective coming to theaters this summer, and it's just amazing.
July or August theatrical release. Yeah, you got to check it out. So
July or August theatrical release. There we go.
Yeah, it's really in that classic kids movie vein. The stuff that you go, why don't they make that anymore? The stuff was great. You guys are gonna love it.
Yeah, so go check that out. And then, did we just lose Sean again? But he's just left. He just.
I think he went to get the mail.
Is Sean quiet quitting?
He's quiet quitting. Yeah, he is a millennial after all. He's quiet quitting on us.
I'm just gonna go get the mail during the middle of a podcast. So,
well, and because I want to know what we got in the mail, but we'll have to wait till he gets back. So
he said the movers were here.
The movers were here.
The movers or the mail? Did you quit on us, Sean? Did you
just go get the mail?
I'm out of here. This is what I like. This is real life, folks. This is,
it is.
Life still happens.
But did we get some mail?
No, we did. We got a bunch of mail, which is super cool. I like it that our audience doesn't send emails; they send real mail.
Yeah.
Which one I read first? Oh, this one's good. This is this is from Buttonwillow, Ohio. The guy's name is Jeremy. Jeremy says, guys, love the show. Quick question. Who is doing Jason's wardrobe? I love his wool cardigans. Jason, can you tell us where you're getting those?
Yeah. So I get them from the catalog called looklikeweezer.com.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got all of them in the 90s, and I have been wearing them since because I don't want to give up on being a garage rocker. So It's just all Weezer, all day, all the time.
By the way, Weezer did a great music video with the Muppets for the Muppet Show.
Oh, that's true.
See that? There we go.
Man, we got Muppets on our mind today.
Yeah, we do.
Man,
we do. It's hard to get them off. So
we got so much mail. I'm only going to read one more because I think because you never know when my mic's going to run out or something. Here's another one. This is from Katie D in Nova Scotia. Do you think? I guess it's not GeoBlock. Like people can get our show everywhere, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It says Guys, the show's a little bit boring, but I'm sure you're just practicing. I'm going to stick around for 2 more episodes, but after that, it's a hard pass. Thanks, Katie. But and Sean, it's been 3 weeks now, and your beard still isn't as long as Marcus's and Jason's. What you say about that, Katie? First of all, I guess just thanks for listening, and I'll try better. We'll all try better, and I don't know if I could catch up to you guys with the beards, but would that look weird if all 3 of us had? We'd kind of be like the ZZ Top of podcasts.
I don't know, like you could catch up because my beard just kind of stops at this length. Like this is as long as it gets.
All right.
So it is possible. It is possible.
Well, I think it would be kind of a cool look if we had I could see a ZZ Top vibe.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I got to spin my guitar, but.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna spin. Hey, I'm gonna spin my ook. But thank you, Katie, and was it Jeremy?
Jeremy.
Everybody, please keep mailing all of your mail to Marcus's home address, which he'll give you at the end of the show. That's the mailbag. That's
your mailbag.
That's the mailbag. That's it.
Okay. Did you want to introduce this clip?
Which one?
Where it is from Eretz.
Oh, okay. This is a little segment that at least for now we're calling SNL or IRL, and this is a lot of stuff happening over in the Middle East. As a lot of people know, the hostages got released, and some really interesting updates on kind of Red Cross, kind of doing a pivot right now, and about how they're sort of supporting the community. And I thought this was worth sharing. So, Marcus, you want to hit the buttons?
When you've been away for a while, you want to be taken home by someone special. For those once-in-a-lifetime moments, we proudly introduce the Red Cross Rideshare app.
Red Ride for hostage? Am I saying that right? Hey, do you want a water or like the aux cable or anything?
It's about time. Where have you been? Why didn't you bring medicine? Humanitarian aid, a sign of life to my family.
No, we don't do that anymore. We pivoted to just being a rideshare app. It's pretty cool.
Aren't you the Red Cross?
Yeah, we cross between Israel and Gaza. It's kind of our new thing.
What?
Simply download the app, book your ride, and we'll be there within 15 months.
Am I going to see my family now?
Of course. We just need to make one teensy pit stop and go do a ceremony in front of a bunch of terrorists where you guys smile and wave and pretend like you're old friends from sleepaway camp. Is that cool?
Red Ride. We'll be with you the entire 200 meters of a ride literally anyone else could have driven.
All right, we're here. If you could just rate the experience, it really helps. And no pressure, but Hamas always gives 5 stars.
You.
Yep, probably deserve that.
Red Ride. It's like Uber, but with a Nobel Peace Prize.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
I almost lost my out pouch from that one.
Wow.
That was great. That was great. Who did that? Do you know who that is?
This guy in Israel, what's his name? I don't know. It's on the link. We'll have to get him on the show, but I'm not paying for the airfare, but we'll get him a ride.
I love how it was edited with real news footage.
Yeah. That was good, right?
Outside the car and like in the window and stuff. Really
she was good too. Yeah.
We need more sketch comedy. Like the world just needs more sketch comedy.
Yeah.
It just hasn't been the same since. I guess
Yeah.
I guess we had Chappelle Show, then we had Key and Peele, but I don't feel like there's really been anything significant. Probably because after Key and Peele, kind of like woke cancel culture sort of happened.
Yeah.
You can't really do sketch comedy in that environment at all, and so it just kind of went away. So
there's some great Key and Peele.
It's a great time. Sean, you're talking about the hole in the market.
Yes.
That right there, the hole in the market is sketch comedy, 100%. Like,
I
it needs
agree.
to be done.
We're bringing it back. I mean, we've got a good, we got a wave of sketch comedy coming with all this late night stuff. So there was
Now here's your next. Is it SNL
or IRL? Yeah,
or IRL?
yeah. Now this one I'm not sure, but I remember the classic NPR delicious dish skit with Alec Baldwin. I don't know if I can say the name. Yeah, but
right. No, you don't have to say the name.
I don't even need to say it. This is
everybody knows what it is.
Good. So this one I think is maybe by the same producers. Or let's watch it.
So this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online. So that would be one way that we could refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside Doge. And we looked into his background. And so we found, several notable things, Aaron, one of which is that this individual has founded multiple companies, including one with another unfortunate name, Tesla.Sexy LLC, which he established in 2021. He would have been around 16 years old. Now, this LLC controls dozens of web domains.
So, Kara, you hear this, and you have known Elon Musk for years. So now you look at these young men who are now in data and in the private information about maybe hundreds of millions of American citizens as young as 19, the big balls here that he's talking about. Most of them are in their early 20s. There's an exception I'm going to get to in a minute. I'm curious, though, Kara, how well does even Musk know these young men, do you think?
I have no idea. I think there is no vetting whatsoever, as you can see, that's taken place. It took Katie and the really great team. Wired has done an astonishing job here. I could make a joke that's probably why he was hired for all this ridiculous nonsense.
Why is she dressed like Hamas?
Things. But, there's an expression in tech.
I was going to ask the same.
Why is she dressed like Hamas?
What is she wearing?
Kara Swisher. She's the kind of person someone brings over to dinner and you're just like, well, she's fun.
I just love, we just read the article of how cable news is their last flicker of cable news. And this is what they're having to talk about every night. and they're so serious and straight faced. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how they did that whole segment with a straight face. It's fantastic and brilliant. And
there's so much to analyze. That's the third time I've watched it, but every time I watch it, I mean, there's just something. There's like, and the unfortunate name, like unfortunate name, like wait, what is it? Like fortunes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I always watch stuff like that, and I'm always like, okay, that's gonna be the cold open on Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah.
Because you can see, that is such a perfect sketch set up for Saturday Night Live cold open. The writers have to be, there has to be at least 3 or 4 pitches in the writers' room.
Yeah.
All using that. I think there will be something. I've been impressed with Saturday Night Live lately, and so I think there will be something, but they should actually have Elon Musk come back and do something.
I don't see that happening, but that would be great.
He doesn't have the time.
Yeah, how in the world is he running? Oh man, that's talk about. Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing. So, Sean, you have staff picks. Oh no, we have big news from Sean. We've received official certification.
Oh yeah,
we already got that.
Yeah, that's our.
He already announced.
Check that off. We're non-USAID, NewsAid. And then you wanted to talk about I Am Not a Robot.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm still texting the movers. They're still. I'm waving at them now. You guys can go. Let's go. Just move. Do the thing you do. It says moving back. Just move. It's fine. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. A little period in my life here. So Brian Oliver. Okay, so this is a great director that normally does documentaries and a lot of serious stuff, but he just is dipping his toes into comedy, and I thought this was pretty clever. I think we'll just watch the first 50 seconds, but it's called
you tell me when we've seen enough, and then I'll also
I'll do that. Okay, we've seen enough.
Okay.
Just kidding.
My mom never forgave me for that one.
Gosh, that's awful.
It's still the topic of every family get together.
Too funny, too funny. You don't know how many. Let's just say it's a
Can you
pleasure
turn the volume
to meet
down
the
a
right
little bit?
human for this job. You're gonna do great here at Uniquity.
Oh, man, that's amazing.
Just a formality. There's just one more task you need to do manually.
Sure, bring it. I'm not a robot.
Yeah, I know. It's a security thing. It's been around for a while now, but we finally implemented it.
Is this a joke?
No. It's a formality that will confirm that you're not, in fact, a robot, and then we're off to the races.
Okay, this is some gaslight thing. It's part of the interview?
It's a tool that helps make sure we've got the right guy for the job.
Got my resume. I made you laugh. Can a robot do that?
I can't send your paperwork down until we're complete. Just check the box, son.
It's the principal.
All right, let's not spoil it. You can
Yeah.
go watch
Yeah.
that.
No. That's a good cliffhanger. No.
That's so you said that was done by a Brian Oliver.
Brian Oliver. Yeah, he is a phenomenal.
Do you know him?
I do. He worked with us at Fuel TV. One of our best director producers. Came from the snowboarding world, and just phenomenal DP, director, creative. And I thought that was great because he'd never done comedy, and it's a good little piece. But I won't tell you how it ends, but it's good.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's called "I'm Not a Robot." You can find that. You can search for that. Just
Google
type in
that.
Brian Oliver. I'm not a robot.
Yeah.
And then one last thing I think you have is there's a trailer for a movie about anvils.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I was thinking about, we were talking about Yacht Rock a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about all my favorite music docs. And if there was this heavy metal band from Canada called Anvil, and they were like on the cusp of blowing up with Scorpions and Megadeth and Metallica and Guns N' Roses, but they just didn't quite make it. And this is one of the most heartfelt, fun, amazing documentaries about this band. And I think just the trailer, I encourage everybody to watch this. Came out in 2008, but still, I think we got the trailer. If you want to, let's watch the whole thing.
Anvil was one of those bands that just put on this really amazing live performance.
They're a great band, yeah. I always liked Anvil.
In the summer of 1984, Anvil toured the world with the biggest bands in rock.
These guys are going to turn the music world upside down.
All of them sold millions of records around the world. All of them, but one.
One thing that's really good, man, is that we found those sleeping bags. This is where we learned how to play.
We're like brothers.
We were just innocent kids. We didn't really know what we were doing.
Crappy productions, crappy management.
My name is Tiziana Rigoni, manager at Anvil.
It looks like she's booked us a tour. England, Belgium, Germany. This is going to be the biggest tour I've done in 20 years. When I work at Choice Children's Catering, they don't know that my band even exists.
Welcome to Romania.
The place is jam-packed.
Given your reputation, you should be playing in front of 1,000 people every night, and you are not.
We missed our train. It's so unprofessional what we are going through. Who's the guy that's supposed to pay me? It's been nothing but a nightmare.
It's over. It's been over for a long time.
It's so unfair to Anvil. It's so unfair to Anvil. I stayed dedicated to what?
Rob, I don't want to fight with you. Who's the closest person I got in the world? I started out with Rob when I was 14 years old, and we said, we're going to do it till we're old men. We really meant that.
They should have made it a lot bigger.
I think even he knows at the end of the day, the family is what's important.
I always believe that no matter how hard it gets, there's always a way.
Let's show the world that they're wrong.
We're going to do it together.
together. We're gonna get there. We're gonna be rocks.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That looks amazing.
It's fantastic.
I just kind of got lost in watching that.
I did.
That's kind of stories like documentaries I really love. It's just about like just artists just grinding it out.
Yeah.
Just the grind of that independent like punk rock vibe. Speaking of that, by the way, there's a documentary on Amazon Prime that just came out. Jason, you watched it. It's This is the Tom Green documentary. That's the name of it. And it's about Tom Green and how he started this local cable access show. I actually started in high school, right? Like,
Yeah.
he was filming stuff in high school. He got to do the Tom Green show on cable access. It eventually went to CBC, and then made its way all the way to MTV. And he was on top of the world, and then gets cancer. And like the documentary follows that. It's just amazing and incredible. And he actually talks about what was the guy that we were talking about last week, Sean? That's in some of the Lore Fuel TV, like
Duncan Trussell.
Duncan Trussell was what inspired him.
No, it was it
Oh,
was the skate. It was
Stacey Peralta.
Stacey Peralta.
Your mic is really hot, by the way. I don't know. I think. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so Stacey Peralta was what inspired him in the way he filmed and stuff, all his stuff, and just watching that story was just really great about a guy who just like that's the only thing he wanted to do, and he just continued to work and work and work and do it, and then right when he's at the peak, he gets cancer. It's just a really great documentary. I was like I was just gonna watch it just for like the first few minutes just to see what it was about, and I just wound up just watching the whole thing. It was great. So
that's a good sign.
That would be my recommendation of the week in terms of documentaries to watch. So,
And what's the name of it again?
This is the Tom Green documentary.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, really phenomenal. And also talks too about like the early days of MTV and stuff. Which I think is really important. A lot of people should know more about like those early day networks and stuff.
That was a great era. That era of television was just when we were all stuff was happening. It was Wild West. It was so much fun.
I think it's time to bring that back.
I agree. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and everything comes in cycles, and it's like we've had sort of a dead period, but I feel like coming back.
I say we're in the antenna TV days again.
Yeah.
Right, where there's only 4 knobs on the TV. It's Hulu, Disney, Peacock, and HBO, right? But that's for like the most, or Netflix. But yeah. So by this time, I think now's the really right time for like some really radical streaming platforms like Loor TV, LOOR.TV. You can go there. You can subscribe. You can fund indie artists, so like the artists that we spoke about today on the show. And if and allow them to get funding and to be to get their work seen and to build a name for themselves. I actually want to pull this up. I know I said I want to go, but I think it's really important. G Prime 85. You guys know who that guy is? Just a brilliant animator. He was talking about how the Daily Wire used all AI and to make this ad, and they were talking about how they spent $1 million on the first ad, and then they just made a $47 razor ad.
Wow.
I'll pull it up, but he was saying that like or you could have like funded conservative artists to make something really cool for you. And I think he brings up a good point. And I want to encourage G Prime and any other conservative artists that might find this podcast or watch and listen to it, is like get in touch with us. We have built the thing that can fund your project, that can promote your work, that can like build that sort of sandbox art house, that can create names and build up platforms of artists all over the country. And that doesn't exist right now. There's nothing that exists right now. Nobody cares about the indie art scene or indie filmmakers or anything like that. And so we've built that thing to help you grow your platform and to create your art and content and stories. So get in touch with us. we're pretty reachable. I'm on Twitter at I'm King Ginger, and well, I mean, you could check out Sean's Spotify playlist, Sean Boyle. And reach out to Jason Farley's on X as well. But I would encourage you guys to reach, and also if you know artists, tell them about Lore. I think we could sort of start an underground art coalition of artists and filmmakers who just want to make radical stuff, just in the same way that like early MTV was and Adult Swim was, and I think it's still possible to do that, and I think we should. I think we should put a lot of work and effort into building that platform. But the gatekeepers don't want it to happen. They like the way things are now.
Well, I want to add to that too, is that anyone that's listening, if you know of somebody who's out there, it could be a relative or a friend or just something you saw online that we should check out, let us know. If there's, you saw a YouTube video or Instagram and someone's got some talent, we want to create that opportunity for them. And the thing about Lore that's really cool is that we don't have to own you. We don't have to own your work and just, pin you down. This can just be an opportunity for you to showcase your stuff to an audience, have a money flow, a way to get money, and go be a creative human being.
Yeah.
Absolutely
critical and important, especially in the light of the current political landscape where it's okay to tell a joke. Like now's the time to really build and capitalize on that over the next 4 years for sure. So, Jason, do you have a song for us?
I do, and while you download it, I will tell you the answer to our question. I sent it to you in the Slack.
Okay.
So the question was, in the 20th century, what was the highest grossing feature film? And Sean gave it away because you have to actually know, is it adjusted for inflation or not? Because
wait, I didn't give it away.
You didn't give it away. But if it's adjusted for inflation, then Victor was the first one to get it with Gone with the Wind. So that is the movie adjusted for inflation. If it's not adjusted for inflation, it's Titanic. So, which,
where does Avatar fit us? Well, one of the guys said Avatar.
That was 2001. It's not 20th century.
Oh,
that's the trick. That's the trick part of the question.
That is the trick.
That's like that trivia question. What's the 1 month that has 28 days?
Right. Yeah. All of them.
Yeah.
Good.
That's why you're the professor.
Yeah.
All right. What's it called? Roseanne's, what's it called? Roseanne's Whistle in the West?
Whistle in the West.
All right. Start it.
Roseanne Barr, she's twirling in the sun. With a puppet show, she's second to none. Henson's magic making everyone cheer. Puppet hands holding those strings near. Whistle tunes drifting through the plains. .com movie playing cowboy games.
Look at that.
Gents creations with their beards so tall. Roseanne's laugh fills the canyon call. Red Cross rides in like a hero bold. Saving lives under the skies of gold. CNN's comedy breaking in the news. Roseanne's jokes shake off the blues. Whistle tunes drifting through the plains.
Fantastic, guys. I look forward to the day where we actually have a live band that's actually composing.
What do you mean? That is our live band. Those guys are so good.
That's what I meant. That's our live.
That's our new drummer too. Do you know Paul quit last week?
Okay.
That's Mikey. Mikey is now doing drums.
The guy, the guy I had a beer with last night.
The guy with the one arm.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
That's why the drums are a little.
Yeah. The drummer from Def Leppard only has one arm.
I didn't know. Just kidding. Of course I knew that. Wow. Dropping some serious knowledge on that one.
All right, guys. Thanks everybody again for watching and tuning in. Be sure to share the show, like the show, and tell your friends about it, especially your artists and creative guys that you know. And we look forward to helping them raise money to make a lot of content. And subscribe to Lore. All right, guys. Have a great day.